Today I got an issue with this 2005 Duramax. I pulled out some coolant yesterday, so it's kind of low. You can kind of see the level down there. It's supposed to be a little higher, but it's over pressuring. I'm getting pressure on my up pipe right here. And I did a combustion test to see if I'm getting some seat bite through the head gaskets of exhaust gases, but I couldn't. I tried it 3 times and I didn't get anything out of it. I'm assuming it could be getting some air in the system. I read that could happen if some of these clamps are loose. I went around and tightened all of them, down, under, up top. The only other thing I could think of is I found a busted hose down there. I put a clamp on it so it stopped leaking coolant on the EGR cooler. However, I don't know if it's taking air in, and this ain't the right hose, but I'm assuming it's the right size. I mean, it goes on that J pipe going to the heater core. I'm assuming I'll just cut it up to the length of that. It ain't like that big. I sprayed it down. I might have to take the, what is that, air going into the turbo return right above the EGR cooler. I don't know. I'll take a look at that valve. I really don't want to, but we'll see where we go today. But yes, troubleshooting why we keep getting pressure. I mean, you can see it's fairly clean. I mean, it's had this little black spot for quite a while. I'm not sure where it came from. And we'll see. I'll keep y'all updated. To that little line right there, I'm probably gonna have to remove intake, air, and maybe this horn. I really don't want to take it off. Possibly this return airline. That's really the only thing I could think of. I'll get to that. Just remove the intake horn, and a lot more accessible to that little hose. Even if I took this return line back to the Y bridge, I would still have to get that little neck that goes down to the Y bridge out, because it's right over it. So I don't see the point of taking that without causing me so much work. Struggled a little bit with that, but came out easily. Got a lot of oil coming in from these, what are these little return lines. I need to do the, what's that called? PVC reroute? Yeah, PCV reroute. Yeah, I need to reroute that to quit getting that oil accumulated in the turbo returning from it. But we'll see how it goes taking that. There's that clamp I put on. I'm assuming air could be getting in. I read online that air could get in, but water can't get out, so it could be sucking air. I don't know. This is just us searching for what could be causing buildup of pressure inside the reservoir. Apparently, if air gets in, you'll get a pocket of air, and then it'll start boiling off and overpressuring. Because I have this bottle here, and it will fill up with some water. I've replaced the cap already. What else? Did the combustion test. I got no exhaust gases going in here. I've heard this little line to plug up. I've removed it, and I've had water shoot out. I mean, coolant. What else? Tightened all the hoses. Other thing I could think of, I tightened these. They went down a little bit more. It's because I have some clamps up above these. What are these called? C clamps. And these weren't tight enough, so I put these further up, but they're right on the end. So I'm gonna end up taking these off again, taking these clamps, removing these, moving them up to where they'll sit right. Hopefully that does something. but I'll let y'all know how that goes. That was me spraying WD-40. And I took off a little bracket just to help me remove that intake horn easier, since it is the upgraded horn. I don't even know where I put it though. From an LBZ, it is a little bit bigger. And it was hidden right here. We disconnected quite a few things right now. Thermostat temperature sensor, disconnected the alternator, tube and link that holds that bracket. I believe this goes one of these sensors. I'll have to figure that out. More than likely it goes to this one right here. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yellow and yellow, both of these go together. Why not disconnect it? They probably were fishing around. I need to get it out the way anyways. This goes to, that's that thermostat temperature, turbo, what is that, vane valve, and the map sensor. That goes where I'm standing, alternator. These go for the oil fill tube. This goes to that bracket. And this John goes on the thermostat tubing that ties into this line. Hopefully I can take that out, pull this up, take it out. And if it starts leaking, I'll just put these little plugs in. The smaller one goes to alternator. The bigger one, I don't remember where that goes to. Oh, the bracket back here. All right, I got it. There's the bracket. All right, so I didn't take into effect that Y bridge neck bottle is right above that line, so I can't even lift it out that hole. Let's put the nut back in, not all the way, just enough to nothing falls in there. I had a little bit of play to move it out. I was able to get this out. That was incredibly hard, but the whole reason I was doing that to remove it is because I can't get any wrench or channel lock to remove this clamp. So what I ended up doing, got one of these clamps, put it around like that. Now I'm tightening it, holding it with the wrench on the back side because it's about to slip off, and hopefully I could get that clamp to come out, and then I'll be able to pull these holes out and then do it all again backwards. All right, so what would that be? Quarter of the way there, because I still got to take it out. But the main problem is out. Let's proceed with that. We're at the halfway point. You see where it got ruptured, and what I ended up doing was had some electrical tape wrapped around it, and I put one of these clamps around the electrical tape, and it held. I had no leak. I don't know if it was sucking in air through there. This is all troubleshooting, so we'll find out. This is all probably for nothing, but at least that hose will be replaced, and there's my plug. So what's got me thinking now, this just not move like that. I still haven't released that other clamp back here. So that same problem happened back here, and I had to put these clamps on because these other clamps were too loose. They were spinning out like this. I think I'm just gonna use these other clamps to replace those, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call it a day. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. That that's probably an issue if it ain't that bad. This little J was easier to maneuver than that 90, but it went in. I probably should have left some excess, but I could do it right now. I don't feel like cutting twice. I measured once thinking it was good. It's gonna stay on there now. We'll just tighten it up. Put all the cables back in place. Ended up putting some electrical tape around everything that was exposed. Filler cap is tightened. That return, or I'm not too sure what that is, but that coolant line is back secured and fastened. Alternators hooked up. Put the everything back in place. Got those new clamps on there. I got this one electrical tape just because it was sticking out, and it will be in the way when I try to put this mouthpiece in. Hopefully I can get this thing in without breaking this. I hope I'm not foreshadowing, but I can't forget that bracket. There's a lot more room without that bracket. Alright, let's get this done. Got everything put back together. Took it for a drive. As a matter of fact, like a 2-hour drive almost. And coolant seems pretty much where I left it. I know when I first started, I had an air pocket, and so kind of spilt over. I forgot to empty that out. It's got a little bit in this overspill. But yeah, I had a little air pocket. Went and squeezed the upper radiator hose and got the air pocket to, I guess, go away. The level dropped back down. Drove it, stopped by in a parking lot, had a little bit of pressure on this upper radiator hose, squeezed it again. I mean, this is after 2 hours. I mean, it's fairly soft. And as far as the liquid coolant, it looks pretty much where it should be. I know it pressurizes a little bit when it gets hot, but it's not all the way up to here like how it was on the previous days. I know on a regular drive this would be rock solid. Not rock solid, but a little bit harder than what it is. And that pipe did not leak that I installed, that hose. I'm gonna let it sit for the rest of the night and check it out tomorrow, see if it's hard after it cools down, see if I got any pressure in the coolant system still. Try it again. We'll go from there. It's the next day after that long drive the day before. It's still fairly hard. You can see some movement over there in the reservoir. And the level dropped. So I don't know where it's going. I don't see any leaks. I don't have any white smoke coming out the tailpipe, the exhaust. Oil does not look milky. Transmission fluid looks fine. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna keep looking around, seeing what we could do. But that's all I got for now.